Well, hey there, YouTube. JT Serenity Fire Prepping here. Just out in the greenhouse, getting things ready. Planted some seeds yesterday and got to get going. So, what I want to talk about today, after that wonderful scripted speech yesterday, is that we're screwed. So with that, I thought I would do a short video on barter items, because there's going to be a whole lot of that going on. Every time I go shopping for anything, I buy something that I will use that also would be good for bartering down the road. Because let's face it, there's going to be weary travelers just amongst the community. There's got to be some barter and trade going on, and I thought I'd discuss a few things that I save to do that with. Alright, some are going to be just like you would think they are. Toilet paper. If you've got enough, peel off 10-15 sheets, put them in a Glad bag, use them for bartering. Lavender. Okay. A book. Could be just a smaller pocket book. If this is among, someone traveling down the road who hasn't ate or had anything to drink for 3 days, no, this isn't going to be on their list. But amongst your group, it probably isn't a barter, but more, I have a library going. Deck of cards. Once again, this might not be so much for people traveling down the road as amongst your group. I have bought children's games, adult games, regular cards, Uno, things that people are going to need to pass some time. Alright, now this is very likely a barter item. Lighters. I bought a box of 100 of these on Amazon. It was like $14. And I tested a couple. They work. But here's a 3-pack for $1.25 that I got at a Dollar Tree store. One of these lighters for barter. Very good choice. Okay. Candles. These were like 20 cents each at the Family Dollar Tree. They also have the 80-hour candles, only $1 in glass. Many different options, but people may need them. This one, it doesn't sound that big. A pen or a pencil. Paper. It's going to be important. It might not be a barter item, but it's something that your group will definitely need. Little flashlight for $1. This could be a very good barter trade item. I have probably 20 of these that I've accumulated over the last year or so. I have all my good flashlights, but I have these in strategic locations throughout the compound, and I think these would be good for bartering. Store them without the battery in them. The ones that I have for barter, the battery is just taped to it. That way nothing goes wrong, it doesn't get turned on. About after a year, you probably should check the battery and rotate them. Now we're getting into some good stuff people are really going to want. Here's a little snack pack. This one is tuna salad with crackers. There's a little can, a little spoon, and like 6 crackers in there with it. This will be a very good barter item. The weary traveler coming through, give him one of these. a small bottle of water, see what he's got to trade, send them on their way. I have these in my backpacks, and I rotate them out every 6 months. At the end of this month, I put all my summer stuff in my backpack until November, and then I'll switch out the winter stuff. But I rotate the food and snacks every 6 months as well. Okay, knives. Not sure that I would barter one this good. There are some cheapo ones. This is one of my better ones. But there's always a need for a knife. Someone might have lost theirs in their travels. If it's going to be a frequent trade route, and because the SHTF has already happened, and there's kind of established communities, then you can decide to barter and trade different quality stuff based on the fact that you've already established a level of trust with different communities, and they're going to come up with good stuff to trade that you need as well. Oop. Duct tape. This is not the duck tape. This is the Harbor Freight cloth back duct tape, but it still works pretty damn good, and I carry one of these in my backpack. Got one in each one of my vehicles. Many uses for duct tape. What I dropped that could be important. Hey, I don't have to worry about the bald spot on my head anymore. Family Dollar, $1 ibuprofen. Obviously, I'm not going to barter the whole thing. I'm going to barter 2 to 4 tablets, depending on the person's desire, their pain, whatever. Send them on their way. Also got plenty of these in my first aid building, my mini hospital. Which leads to a little mask. Somebody may want one of these bartering just because they're going to wear it as they walk through a severely dry, dusty area. Today the wind's blowing about 20 miles an hour out there. It's a little cool. This would come in handy. And people may just want these in their backpack when they enter an area that just appears that the people are really sick, or you just don't want to take any chances. We know it does 0 for certain things, right? But it works very well for dust and stuff like that. And it'll keep your face covered and people might not be able to identify you. Which leads to the next one. A $1 pack of nitrile exam gloves. Now they're not 7 or 9 mil, they're only 4 mil, but if you've got to work on someone in your group or encounter someone you don't know what they got, need to perform some type of exam, whatever, be nice to have. Obviously, almost everything I've showed you so far is also in my backpack. My first aid building, my first aid kits. Seeds. This particular packet holds 10 different herb packets, but I have many individual packets that I buy at the cheapo stores for $1. They're not heirloom, they're not non-GMO, they're not annuals, they're perennials. They're going to have to replant them, but it might save someone's life, and seeds are going to be extremely important. I probably have 10 sealed seed vaults that I am using the seeds out of one now. I harvest seeds from everything I plant and reseal them in Mylar bags and put them back into the vault. Back to the food items. $1 can of smoked oysters. Said every time I go to a Family Dollar, Dollar Tree store like that, I grab a handful of dollar stuff and just throw them in the barter box that I got. Bouillon cubes. Alright? This was only $1. So I'm not going to give someone the whole thing. I'm giving a cube. Ugh, that one's chicken. I love making these just for broth. Just to sip at night instead of a cup of tea or coffee. Very good. A little high in salt, which is going to be very important anyway during a SHTF. But you never know. Someone might have something to barter just for one of these, where that night when they make their camp, they drop this in their water pot and they boil it up. It'll fill their belly, make them think they're eating something, and get them through the night. Brings me back to drink mixes. 5 little individual packets in here. $1. Give them out individually. Barter, trade. I got a lot of these on hand for the children. They're going to need a break from water after an SHTF. A Kool-Aid, a sugary drink, something every few days. Hard candy. Good barter will keep them all going. Same with coffee. This goes right along in line with the bouillon cubes. There's 6 in here. This is a name brand, Taster's Choice, and it was only $1. This will be a wonderful barter item. I also have these in my backpacks, 2 or 3, that I can make coffee on a stop for the evening or in the morning before I get going. Excellent barter. Coffee is going to be real high. I also got an entire brick. Makes 40 cups. It was $1. I could open this and put it into 4 individual sealed Mylar bags and barter it that way. Or if someone's got something I need and they got the right, I know it costs $1. They know it costs $1. That's right now. Once the SHTF happens, this is gold. Also, I carry in my backpack will be another great barter item. Those chicken of the sea packs. This one is salmon, but they have many different kinds. They last quite a long time. It's hermetically sealed. I switch these out in my backpack. This also could be a great barter item. And yes, it was $1. Little tiny hand sanitizers. I think this was 50 cents. This is the Ashore brand, so that was at Dollar Tree. That's their name brand. I'm not a big fan of hand sanitizer. I think there's probably more harm than good in it. I carry a bar of soap in my backpack. Yeah, there isn't always time for one. If I cut my hand or something and I had to do this once or twice, yeah, this is good. Constant prolonged use, no, I don't believe in them. But it's in my first aid kit. Once in a while you have to do an emergency and you got to do what you got to do. Alcohol works better. And in certain instances, if I had to do some minor surgery on somebody, yeah, I'm going to pour some alcohol on there. I'm going to sterilize some stuff and we'll deal with that. Which brings us to alcohol. Alright, I stock big bottles, quarts, pints, stuff that I can buy. Doesn't have to be the most expensive. It's just something that's going to be around. Very special occasions. Like I said, medical emergencies, alcohol, 100 proof, very, very good. Sterilizing stuff. Obviously we're not going to sit around a campfire drinking every night. That's just not good for OPSEC and tempers will get, no, you know what I mean? You gotta have it, but you gotta pick and choose. But these little ones, at every counter in every liquor store I've ever been in, I bought a case of these, 24 of these little guys, and I'm gonna do it again. These will be wonderful barter items. I carry one of these in my backpack that I can use to dump on a wound, put it in a pot, sterilize a knife if I gotta cut somebody, or my stitch equipment, or if I'm in pain, I cut my toe, it's going down if I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Great barter item. And of course the old standby tuna. Yep, it's a can, it's not a packet. I bought a case, I think it was 12 of the P38 openers, the old military ones. They work like a charm. Got one in my backpack, got one on my keyring in my truck. Could barter that if you want to, or if someone wants to barter for one of these and they're at my barter station, I will open it, take off the lid, and give them the can and send them on their way. Because they're probably going to eat it by the time they get to the end of the road. Still, get the cheapo stuff. Doesn't matter. People will eat practically anything if they're starving. Smokes and tobacco. These are the bigger ones. The Swisher Sweet Kings. I got the little Tipperillos. I buy a box of the little Cheroots. I bought some bulk tobacco and rolling papers that I can fill a sandwich bag with tobacco, rolling papers, and a lighter and barter it out. Tobacco, alcohol, coffee are going to be huge. Just get what you can. Okay, I just happen to have another roll of toilet paper. Okay, this is a basic, very basic list. There's plenty of things that I did not cover on here that you're probably accumulating in your preps for barter and all that kind of stuff as well. I didn't try and hit everything. I just gave you a basic list of some things that maybe you hadn't thought of. Put some in comments that you did. I may have them already and I might just not have thought of it. Obviously, first aid supplies like Band-Aids and gauze and other stuff like that, it can be used for barter. Boxes of rice or macaroni and cheese or any of those little box mixes. The person that's going to barter, I don't care how they're going to cook it or if they can. That's not my problem. They want to barter for something and I have it in my barter building, then that's what we're going to do. If we can make a deal, great. I have tons of silver. I got little tiny rounds. I may have to barter and pay for something. We don't know what the monetary system is going to be in an SHTF. I don't know that people can't eat it. So I'm kind of hanging on to all my silver for when things would start rebuilding and there's not going to be any other kind of money. At least that may be something I can use to help get what supplies there may be. Alright, so like I said, this is just a very short list. You can add to it. One thing I will not barter. Ammo. I don't care. I am not going to give someone something to use to come back and take everything I have. I've worked too hard, spent too much money, done everything that I think I need to do to prepare myself and my group, and the last thing I'm going to do is give someone some ammunition to come back and take everything that I've worked for over the last few years to get ready. I don't know if a person coming up my walkway or a woman with a little kid, I don't know if they're a scouting party for a group of 10 or 15 that's hiding out in the woods. Sometimes you're going to have to take a chance, but I'm not going to give someone ammunition, pun intended. So, that's a short video, but I hope it helps a few of you to at least get thinking about things you need to start storing to barter, trade, or just to add to your prepping collection. So, like, share, subscribe, comment, ring the notification bell. I'm out of YouTube jail. I had to do a week, and I just got out today. So, I don't even know what time I can post this video, but I'm getting on it. So, for now, JT, signing off.